Hi everyone, I'm Septime Weber, Artistic Director of Hong Kong Ballet, and in honor of World Ballet Day, we're sharing our company class with all of you. We have a guest teacher, Ki Wan Han, who's giving a warm-up class. Today's a big day for us because we've got our first stage rehearsals of Swan Lake. Swan Lake opens in 2 days, and our company is beginning the process of bringing the ballet to the stage with company class. And here we see the dancers in their pre-warm-up. Ki usually gives a short exercise before pliés. Enjoy. In Ki's class, we can see before pliés, he gives the dancers a full body warm-up exercise where they're getting the joints moving, stretching the back, a little bit of tendus, getting the various joints of the body warmed up, the legs, the upper body, the neck. And after this warm-up, then they're ready to rock and roll with pliés.
Start second position, 2 ground please. Side bend all the way forward, and then slowly roll up. First to the knee, roll forward and back. Fake to the roll, circular, circular. Okay.
We can see in the ballet class, generally starting with pliés, slow bends, deep bends and stretches, generally standing on 2 feet. The body's not quite ready to balance on 1 foot yet. This gets the whole body warm. We can see both the legs working, the upper body working, focus, and breath is very important. As we look around the room, we can tell that Hong Kong Ballet is a very international ballet company. We have dancers from all over the world. We're a company of 48 dancers, and 7 of those are from Hong Kong. Everyone else is from another country. Quite a bit of dancers from China, mainland China, beautiful training in Shanghai, Beijing, and other cities. But also we have about 20% of the company from various Western countries like the United States and Cuba, and Canada, but also from Australia, New Zealand. We have dancers from the Philippines, from Korea, from Japan. It's really a UN of ballet dancers unified with the common vision of developing excellent repertoire. Beautiful stagings of the classics like Swan Lake, works by great masters like Yuri Killian, William Forsythe, Alexei Ratmansky, Christopher Wheeldon, Justin Peck, Wayne McGregor, and many more, but also new works by many choreographers working the world today. It's been an exciting experience working with these artists that are truly international. Enjoy the rest of the class. And as bar continues, it gets a bit more complicated. We started with pliés, both feet on the ground. And then we had a kind of simpler tendu combination where the shape of the foot is being felt, and primarily working in first position. Now tendus in fifth, take it up a notch. We're transferring from one foot to the other foot for the first time. Ballet bar is progressive, designed to not just warm up the body, but to have the body memorize those important shapes and positions. But also it's progressive because we build, one step builds on another. So we introduce transfer of weight and then eventually more speed and more elevation on the part of the legs.
1, 2, plié, present your foot, and 2. Back to plié, and two, present your one. Front and two, present your one. 1, 1, 1, either 1, 1, 1. Round the jump 2. First up. Bring to retire or balance the second, whichever you wish. 1, 2, plie inside leg. Back to plie inside leg. 3 side. Side, side, side. 8 back, long swan. Do your big cut there.
Now this is the fifth combination, and we can see more complexity. The legs coming off the ground for the first time. We're changing legs, so we're transferring from one leg to the other, and also swinging and opening the hip for the first time. A little rond de jambe. We can also see the alternation of rhythms. Fast triplet followed by a long stretch. And first balance on one leg.
Ballet, 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 side, rotation back. 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Heel turn up, clear around, heel turn out, just slightly off the floor, and kick. And then you stretch back with your whole and
most of the combinations we've seen so far, or all of them actually, kept the legs in front, on the side, and the back. Now with the rond de jambe, we're circling the hip for the first time, really making circles, warming up the hip. And we're also seeing the leg come off the ground much higher than before. This is 15 minutes into the class. The body's a bit warmer and ready for more. Also, most of the combination has the weight on one foot only, not standing on 2 feet. Now ready for that kind of balance. Stretching the whole body with this port de bras. And you can see during this stretch period, various dancers kind of doing what their body needs for the moment. During a combination, dancers stick with what's given, but then in between moments, you can see bits of yoga incorporated. We can see Jack on a roller, very popular these days. Various kinds of stretches happening. during this class we are enjoying some really beautiful classical music. That's a really important element of ballet class. Nicholas Lau. Hi, Nicholas. Everyone out there, look at Nicholas. Nicholas is our music director, and we have the great privilege of dancing to his music every day. He plays for our morning class, or other pianists do as well, and he also plays for many of our rehearsals. So it's really, the dance we do is so tied to the music. Really a great gift, and it's really so much more enjoyable to start the day this way.
Spider-Man. Fondue to the front, fondue to the back, fondue to the side, flip, up and two. Single one, single plie, passé, balance, two close. Fondue et passé, fondue front, fondue side, back side. Single one, single two, double plie, passé, up, close fit, and two. Fondue to the front, plie to the back. Back, front, side, and close. Single one, single two, double plie, releve.
A combination like this is very strength building. We see very slow releves and plies on one leg, and coordination of rond de jambe, circling of the legs as well. Both strengthening and also developing coordination.
Single and the single and the single and the single and the double and the triple and the EED. Single and the single and the single and the single and the double and the triple and the EED. Close fit and two, or U10 pirouette. Close fit and two, pirouette attitude balance. Okay? You can use whichever leg. Huh? If you have to use the other leg, just use the other. Alan. 1, 2, 3, close one, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, close one, 1, 2, and 3. Passe, plie, fouette, and then balance other side. 1, 2, 3, close 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Turn. 1, 2. See your fingernail. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, clear 2, fouette, balance. Okay.
And here we have the last combination at the bar. A combination of an adagio, slow developing of the legs, and grand battements, very fast kicks. Two really essential movements in ballet, of course. This grand battement movement, very essential to our technique. It's the kind of movement you need whenever you execute any kind of big jump, a big grand jeté, entrelace. Really always starts with a very fast kick into the air. And now the bar is over, and the dancers have a quick break, maybe get a little drink of water, and we move to center. I'd like to bring, hello, Key. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you.
Really great to have you. Can you tell us, Key, a little bit about, you had a great career as a dancer and then have been the director of a number of prominent schools, both in the United States and now in Singapore. And you teach both companies like Hong Kong Ballet, and you're coaching our Swan Lake as well. But you also teach students, advanced students, and some younger students. The class we're watching today, tell us about how it's different from when you teach students. What are you looking to do with the company class?
Well, first of all, because I don't want, because they're in the theater mode right now, so I don't want to make class too difficult. So we only have an hour and 15, and my main thing is to make them walk.
Sure.
As fast as I can, without injuring, of course. So there's kind of like a little bit of stretch in the middle, and so they can concentrate a little bit more on what they're doing instead of choreography. So, but anyways, I tried to make it very basic.
Actually, it's a really efficient bar. I mean, it's a really challenging class that you teach, but your bar is about 25 minutes, maybe a little longer than that. Over time, as your class changed, have you found your training technique to get more efficient or more codified, or do you like your classes to be very diverse?
Well, certainly when I teach the kids, when I'm stressing certain point, my bar can go for an hour and 15 minutes. But we're professional. It's like constant reminder. When somebody watch me teaching, they say, "You sound like a football coach." So
Sure.
that's exactly what I try to do. While they're doing the exercise, I remind them of their training.
Sure.
Like hold your armpit here on top of the toes and all that.
Sure.
So basically, it's just very different. I just got to change my mode when I teach kids and teach company.
It's always remarkable to me. I mean, it's always been remarkable to me how quickly dancers remember combinations.
Yeah.
You basically show the combination once on the bar, review it very quickly. We don't hear any music and just kind of press play, and everyone gets it. Is that something to do with how you put combinations together, or you think that's just a skill we all have?
I think
we develop.
Dances we don't really remember with our mind, kind of. It's a muscular memory, more like that. And like I said, I try to be very clear, so they learn a little faster, and
And because I go fast, they don't really have time to say, oh, what did I do last night? Or what am I going to do today or something. So, they're kind of very concentrated. But, this is a great company. I mean,
I think so too.
I think so.
With that, I think they're waiting for center. So enjoy the rest of the class. Thanks, Key. Great to have you guys. I'll let you watch some more and introduce you to a few special guests in a moment. Let me let him in. Thank you for doing this. Let me just let him know.
Don't bounce off your feet. 4 counts in between. Upper back. Down.
Among the guests we have here working on Swan Lake is Matthew Golding, former principal dancer with Royal Ballet, Dutch National Ballet, member of American Ballet Theatre, and lots of other companies. And this is your 4th time visiting us in Hong Kong. It's great to have you. Tell me about company class, and you're preparing right now for the role of Siegfried. You'll be dancing this weekend. In fact, you've got your final dress rehearsal with the orchestra tonight. How does class for you change when you're working on a role like Siegfried versus maybe training when you're not performing or working on a contemporary repertoire?
Oh, that's a big question. And also, it's a lot of debate in the studio of which direction you want to take it, especially compared to classical contemporary.
Sure.
With the regards of Swan Lake, Siegfried, I've been doing for many years. I've been very fortunate to do several different versions of Swan Lake, and that allows me to take what aspects regarding the character or the steps with choreography and bring that forward into the studio. Hopefully it transitions on stage this weekend. And with the contemporary level now, basically around the world of dance, contemporary is extremely important. And this allows a lot of dancers who are not fully classical at the highest level get on stage and really become a wonderful example that there's many forms that you can express yourself as a company dancer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's really great to have you. I've been having fun working on Swan Lake, and I'll let you get back to class, but welcome to Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Cheers. Enjoy class.
Not too soft. Upper back. Yeah. And head to your elbow.
Among the important people in any ballet company is the ballet mistress and ballet master. And I have a great fortune of working with Tamin. Tamin, tell us a little bit about where you've danced, where you've been, and also a little bit about what you're doing with our current production.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tang Ming. I am working with Hong Kong Ballet now for Ballet Mistress. I graduated Peking Ballet Academy. I dancing also with the National Ballet of China and Le Grand Ballet Canadien. Fort Worth Dallas Ballet and Pittsburgh Ballet Theater. Yeah, right now I'm working with, production classical ballet Swan Lake. Yes, and basically I'm coaching principal and also quarter ballet, of course. Yes, thank you.
I have enjoyed watching your tough love with the core. It's been great. So it's great to work with you, and I know we'll have a great time this week with the dancers on stage.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of class.
Make sure you're present here. And then step PK, present your foot to allongé close fit. Fondu to the front, fondu to the back. Coupe one, allongé two, pas de bourrée two. This time on the dome. Finishing our legs. And the left side, one. Let the legs go out first. One, two. Present your foot before you PK. Fondu to the front, fondu to the back.
I'm here with Yogami. Yogami was a longtime dancer with the company and also now a ballet master with the company. Yogami, I know you to be a really committed, as a dancer, really committed to class, and now as a ballet master, you teach class quite a bit, and also when you can take class yourself. Can you talk about your relationship with class and what is the role of class for dancers and what should it be?
First of all, we need to be warm in order to do all the rehearsals every day. So we start with a slow exercise, but then later on into a little faster things without the bar. That just teaches us how to be flexible as an instrument for the rehearsal, so that we are able to go to any direction with being aware of where your legs are, arms are, in a perfect coordinations also. So I took Mr. Han's class and I really appreciate the way how he doesn't demand you something very, in terms of combination, it's quite simple, but at the same time he gives us very, very detailed things in a classical techniques, so that always reminds us in everyday bodies, and we have new bodies every month. And
with the circulation of cells and everything. And it's a very good reminder for us, especially his class.
Sure. I always think that class, for me, was a spiritual activity. Starting each day in a kind of quiet, meditative way, pliés, this amazing music. I always thought of it more as a spiritual event in some ways than even just merely a warm-up. Did you connect to that idea as well?
I agree with that because it's something that we do every day, and that creates the rhythm. So that in order to keep this rhythm, so that we can build our energy level into the performance also. So I think it's also, like you said, it's also spiritual activities involved for us.
Sure. Well, it's great to share this activity with you. Enjoy the rest of class. We are enjoying the presence of another guest with us, Chun-Wei Chan, who's actually a local boy from the Hong Kong area, but a principal dancer with Houston Ballet. I guess you like swans, huh? Chun-Wei, it's really great to have you. You're also tackling the role of Siegfried. Can you talk a little bit about tackling a role like Siegfried as opposed to tackling contemporary repertoire, and how those two feel different, and how you prepare in class differently for these two kinds of activities?
Okay. Yes, so as a Siegfried, I have been practicing when I was little. The variation that is a very common and popular variation for the competition. I have been thinking about how to be a prince much more than doing a contemporary piece, because it's very hard to present like a prince. And you have to put yourself in the character during the dance, and every single moment and suggestion, it has to be a prince. You cannot get out of the character at all. No 1 second. And for contemporary piece, it's for me it's less challenging, but yet it's also hard. Yeah.
And do you approach class differently?
Approach class
like your class this week, will be performing Siegfried Friday night.
Oh, yes.
It's how you approach class a little different when you're preparing for this kind of role than something modern.
Oh yeah, because Siegfried in the Swan Lake is very challenging ballet that we have to prepare ourselves, our body to dance on stage for like 3 hours non-stop, and that you have to build the stamina on stage during the class, and yeah, it's challenging.
Well, I guess I bet you better let you get back to class.
Yes.
Enjoy. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy. watching artists of the Hong Kong Ballet in an adagio combination in the center, in a class led by Ki Wan Han. We can do slow, sustained movement, building strength, working on line, presentation. One of the more challenging combinations in the class, of course. I'm here with Yefefe, one of our beautiful principal dancers, who will be dancing with Chun Wei Chan in the very challenging role of Odette Odile this weekend. Feifei, it's really been great to work with you. Can you tell, you're one of the most hardworking dancers I know, and you approach the technique very seriously. And I wanted to know from you, you're preparing for this big role that you'll be debuting here in Hong Kong in 2 days. How does your training at this point, 2 days out, we've got long 6-hour theater days today. In about an hour and a half, you'll be on stage for the first time. How does the training you're taking class in a day like today differ from other days when you're kind of in rehearsal, or maybe just taking class to train but not in rehearsal?
I think for me, the class is really important because every day we start class first to warm up our body and also practice the stamina and the technique. So, yeah.
Yep. I know that you're a turner. You're also a jumper, but you don't do 32 fouettes. You do 16 fouettes that alternate between singles and doubles, singles and triples, and then 16 à la seconde turns, a step associated generally with men. It's really a statement of power that's really appropriate for Odile. Do you find the turns in second harder than fouettes, and how long have you been doing this?
Actually, this is from, I think, when I start study in Canada.
Yes.
Yes, and I start practice the à la seconde. And also I feel, for me, when I tired, the à la seconde is more straight. I mean, like more, better for me.
You actually have less movement in a way of the legs. Yeah. Well, it's cool. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. See you. Enjoy the rest of class. Enjoy, you guys. Earlier I mentioned that ballet class is progressive. We started with very slow, simple movements, pliés at the bar, holding onto the bar, standing on both feet, just bending and stretching. Then slowly, as we get warmer and more stable, we can begin to lift the leg up off the ground, eventually move away from the bar with slow movements, We started in the center. Key starts his class with a tendu combination, and then an adagio. And now, 50 minutes into class, ready for pirouettes, turns, big extensions of legs. I want to introduce you to Yang Ricci. Ricci's from China, trained in China, but also trained at the John Cranko School and danced with Stuttgart Ballet before joining Hong Kong Ballet. You danced quite a number of roles in Swan Lake, and I find you a natural storyteller. You played Alice in My Alice in Wonderland, and but you're also dancing in Swan Lake, one of my favorite roles, one of the Cygnets, one of the Four Little Swans. Tell us about dancing Four Little Swans. Challenging, easy, fast footwork, teamwork. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think Four Little Swans is a teamwork, and we need to be like a one person. When we are move, whatever the head or the feet, it's not easy dance. It's only like around 1 minute, but we need to put everything in because it's a lot of jump and then a lot of footwork, and then also the spacing.
Yeah, well, I love it. You have especially beautiful feet. So it's always like my eyes are always on your feet during Four Little Swans. Okay, enjoy the rest of class. Yeah. Cheers. So we're almost an hour into class, and it's finally time to jump. I always found the small jumps the most fun. Could add beats, etc.
jeté, t'enlever, jeté, jeté, coupé, ballonné, coupé, ballonné, ballonné for you. 3 and 4. Brise volley, watch your count. Okay? So yeah, you did it again. Make sure you point the bottom.
Now with the third beat combination, we can see the third rather jumping combination, we can see faster footwork, especially the brise volley is more complicated, requiring coordination, ballon, a sense of line. I'm here with another one of our principal dancers, Lee Jabot. Jabot, it's great to have you preparing Siegfried for this weekend.
Yes.
This is actually not your first time preparing Siegfried. You've danced the role before, but with a new partner. You'll be dancing with a ballerina who's debuting her first Odette Odile.
Yeah.
Can you talk about partnering and what in tackling a role like Siegfried? We've heard some of the other guests who will be dancing Siegfried this weekend talk about how challenging the role is and how they've got to prepare as a dancer. You also have to prepare as a partner. Talk about building that relationship and the process for bringing, helping a new ballerina who's tackling it for the first time, helping support her and bringing that partnership to the stage. What are some of the elements that you work on and special challenges?
I guess yeah, it's her first time, but I guess she did in school for many times.
Okay, good.
But yeah, still I can see how much effort she put on.
Sure.
It reminds me when I first started doing the things like other dancers just help me, so I just try my best to help her, like encourage her, not just lifting and maybe let some eye contact, just make her feel comfortable.
Sure. Well, tell us about your own interpretation of Siegfried. Tell us about some of your point of views of who Siegfried is and what you try to bring to that role.
It's actually my favorite role. This prince, when I first look at this prince, Siegfried prince, it's kind of, maybe it's very like polite on the outside, but he has a lot of thoughts. It's his birthday, but he's not really happy because he didn't want to get married with those princes.
Sure.
But he find White Swan, and then it's interesting. Later, Black Swan showed up. So, but he still thinks that's White Swan. So he still keep falling in love with this person, and then he just like suffering inside. Just it's dramatic inside of you. So it's very interesting to play this role, and it has strong connection with myself also.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly been fun to see you work on it, and I look forward to your performances this weekend.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
enjoy the rest of class. Enjoy.
You can do a little cabriole, step 2. Pique 1, double 1, and just tongue a bit off. That's enough. Pique 1, yeah, arabesque. 1, and 2, and 4. Épaulement, 1. Up, okay. 2, and cut. 1, 2. A little cabriole, step place. Pique 1, double 1, and finish to the knee, to fade, to lunge, up to you. Okay? But no two hands on the floor. Okay, ladies? Not clear? Clear? It's PK, not brother. And brother left.
And now one of the most exciting and challenging parts of class, the Grand Allegro. Big free movements. And Mr. Han includes turns and jumps, which in any kind of variation or dancing, we usually have a combination of the two.
Get your arms around.
We can see this is the last combination in the center, or one of the last, and it shares some things in common with the last combination at the bar, the Grand Battement. We can see these big jumps that always start with a very fast kick into the air, a big Grand Battement. We can see the Grand Battement happening right here and right here. We can see that Ki Wan Han has given the men and the women different Grand Allegro combinations. The women's combination included piqué turns and arabesque turns, and here we have more emphasis on jumps and double tours. As we watch the Grand Allegro, we can see how quite international Hong Kong Ballet is. Here, Henry from New Zealand, Gary Corpus from the Philippines. Here we see in this group dancers from Japan, mainland China, Hong Kong, and Australia. We can see we have some righties and some lefties. All of us naturally turn well either to the right or to the left. And occasionally right before a show, dancers might indulge on practicing their good sides in tours or pirouettes. And a solo is always acknowledged by the rest of the dancers. That's Henry from New Zealand. So often at the end of a grand pas de deux, dancers need to, when they're most tired, perform various kind of technical feats like fouette turns or turns in second for the gentlemen. So Ki Wan-han often ends his classes with fouette turns and turns à la seconde. Here we see our principal dancer Lilin in turns in second in the shorts. Two Americans side by side, Forrest Oliveros and Jonathan Spigner. I always think during this time of class there's a kind of healthy rivalry. Dancers showing off for each other and having fun, of course. Eun Seal is a young Corfée member from Korea, just joined the company. Obviously, the girl can turn. And on behalf, this is again Septime Weber, Artistic Director of Hong Kong Ballet. On behalf of all of the dancers, our guest teacher, Ki Wan-han, our beautiful music director, Nicholas, our artistic team, and the whole Hong Kong Ballet family, we wish you very happy World Ballet Day. See you at the ballet. Bye-bye. Dancers, we'll see you in 15 minutes downstairs.